Singapore, a city of skyscrapers, speed, and shining lights. But beneath all that modern beauty lies something timeless tradition. You see, while Singapore has become one of the world's most advanced nations, its people never lost touch with their roots. From Chinese New Year firecrackers to Malay weddings, from Indian festivals to Peranakan food rituals, every tradition tells a story of resilience, harmony, and shared identity. Today, we're diving deep into the top 10 Singaporean traditions that survive today. The customs that continue to shape daily life in this little red dot, even in the age of smartphones and skyscrapers. And if you've ever wondered what makes Singapore truly unique, not just modern, but deeply human, you'll find your answer right here. Let's begin. 1. Chinese New Year, a celebration of family and fortune. Every January or February, Singapore transforms into a sea of red and gold as families prepare for Chinese New Year, the most significant festival in the Chinese calendar. Weeks before the celebration, homes are thoroughly cleaned not just for hygiene, but to sweep away bad luck and welcome new beginnings. Doors are adorned with red couplets bearing words of prosperity, and mandarin oranges are placed in pairs as symbols of abundance and good fortune. On the eve of the new year, families gather for the reunion dinner, often considered the most important meal of the year. Tables overflow with traditional dishes like yusheng, prosperity toss salad, dumplings symbolizing wealth, and nian gao, sticky rice cake, representing growth and progress. Each bite carries meaning, each gesture a wish for blessings in the year ahead. When the clock strikes midnight, the sound of firecrackers once filled the air, though restricted today. The spirit of excitement remains alive through vibrant lion and dragon dances that fill the streets of Chinatown. Crowds gather to watch as performers mimic the creatures' powerful movements, believed to chase away evil spirits and usher in luck. Throughout the 15 days of celebration, friends and relatives visit one another, exchanging ang bao's red envelopes filled with money and cheerful greetings like Gom Shi Fa Chai or Hua Da for good luck. The city becomes quieter, more intimate, as offices close and families reconnect. Even in ultra-modern Singapore, where technology rules daily life, Chinese New Year remains sacred, a heartfelt pause in the year's chaos. It's a moment when wealth is measured not in dollars, but in love, unity, and shared joy, the true treasures of a timeless celebration. 2. The Hungry Ghost Festival, respect for the departed. Every year, during the 7th month of the lunar calendar, Singapore takes on a mysterious, almost sacred atmosphere. It's the Hungry Ghost Festival, also known as Zhongyuanjie. According to traditional Chinese belief, this is the time when the gates of the underworld open, allowing spirits and wandering souls to visit the living world. But rather than fear, Singaporeans meet this moment with reverence and respect. As dusk falls, the scent of burning joss sticks and incense drifts through the air. At open fields, void decks, and street corners, you'll find small altars with food offerings, bowls of rice, roasted meats, fruits, and even cans of beer, all laid out to comfort these visiting spirits. Families also burn paper effigies of houses, cars, and money, believing these gifts will provide their ancestors with comfort in the afterlife. The nights come alive with Gitai performances, colorful, lively stage shows featuring singers in dazzling costumes, neon lights, and booming music. Though modernized today, Gitai remains an integral part of the festival, a form of entertainment meant for both the living and the unseen. The first row of seats is always left empty, respectfully reserved for ghostly guests. For many, the Hungry Ghost Festival is more than superstition. It's a heartfelt reminder that respecting the dead keeps cultural identity alive. In a city that constantly evolves, these acts of remembrance anchor Singapore to its roots, a blend of faith, tradition, and gratitude. Even in this modern age, when glass towers rise and smartphones glow, the flicker of candlelight on the street during Hungry Ghost Month quietly whispers an eternal truth that love, once given, never fades, not even beyond death. 3. Hari Raya Puasa, the spirit of forgiveness and renewal. When the holy month of Ramadan ends, a wave of joy, color, and unity sweeps across Singapore. It's the time of Hari Raya Puasa, or Eid al-Fitr, a deeply cherished celebration for the Malay Muslim community and one that embodies the true spirit of forgiveness, gratitude, and renewal. For a full month, Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset, focusing on self-discipline, compassion, and reflection. When the crescent moon is sighted, marking the end of Ramadan, homes come alive with the buzz of preparation. New clothes are laid out often in beautifully coordinated family colors, symbolizing a fresh start and the cleansing of the soul. The morning begins with special prayers at mosques across the island as men, women, and children gather in unity, dressed in their finest baju kurung and baju Melayu. The air feels peaceful. It's not just a celebration of the body's endurance, but of the heart's purification. Then comes the most emotional tradition of all, seeking forgiveness. Family members kneel before their elders, holding their hands and saying, Maaf zahir dan batin, forgive me, outwardly and inwardly. Tears are common, but so are smiles, as old misunderstandings are let go and relationships are renewed with love. The celebration continues with grand feasts of traditional Malay dishes, fragrant rendang, smoky satay, buttery kueh lapis, and sweet ketupat. Weeks before the festival, the Geylang Serai Bazaar becomes a dazzling sight, filled with lights, music, and the irresistible aroma of festive foods. Hari Raya Puasa isn't just a holiday, it's a heartfelt reflection of community, humility, and hope. In a fast-paced, high-tech city, it reminds everyone that progress means little without compassion, and that true renewal begins with a forgiving heart. 4. Deepavali, the Festival of Lights. Every October or November, Singapore's Little India transforms into a radiant wonderland, streets draped with shimmering gold and purple lights, floral arches glowing above Serangoon Road, and music that fills the air with joy. This is Deepavali, or Diwali, the Festival of Lights, celebrated by Hindus across Singapore and warmly embraced by people of all races and faiths. At its heart, Deepavali celebrates the victory of light over darkness and good over evil, a story rooted in the ancient Indian epic Ramayana, where Lord Rama triumphs over the demon king Ravana. Across Singapore, families mark this sacred day by cleaning their homes, performing prayers, and lighting small oil lamps called diyas, which symbolize the light of knowledge dispelling ignorance. Temples such as Sri Vermakaliamman and Sri Mariamman come alive with chants, incense, and offerings. Families exchange trays of traditional Indian sweets, laddu, muruku, and barfi, sharing warmth and generosity with neighbors and friends. Doorways are adorned with kolam, intricate, hand-drawn designs made of colored rice flour, believed to invite prosperity and happiness into the home. But Deepavali is more than a visual spectacle. It's a moment of reflection, a reminder that every person carries an inner light, and that kindness, honesty, and compassion must always guide our way. In multicultural Singapore, Deepavali shines beyond religion. It brings together people of all backgrounds, Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian, in shared joy and respect. The brilliant lights of Little India each year tell a powerful truth. Singapore's greatest glow doesn't come from neon or steel, but from the harmony of its people, celebrating together in the spirit of light, hope, and love. 5. The Peranakan Wedding Traditions. The Peranakan wedding is one of Singapore's most enchanting and culturally rich traditions, a vivid celebration where Chinese elegance meets Malay grace. Born from centuries of intermarriage between Chinese settlers and local Malay women, the Peranakan, or Straits Chinese, created a distinct culture that blends two worlds beautifully. And nowhere is this heritage more alive than in their weddings. A traditional Peranakan wedding once stretched over 12 grand days, filled with elaborate rituals, music, and feasting. Though modern ceremonies are shorter, many of the old customs still shine through. The bride, known as the Nyonya, wears a breathtaking sarong kabaya, a hand-embroidered blouse paired with a batik sarong, often adorned with delicate beadwork and heirloom jewelry. The groom, or baba, wears a Chinese-inspired robe with gold detailing, symbolizing dignity and prosperity. One of the most iconic elements is the tok panjang, meaning long table. This communal feast features a spread of traditional Peranakan dishes like ayam buah keluak, chicken cooked with black nuts, no hiang, 5-spice meat rolls, and vibrant desserts such as kueh lapis. Each dish tells a story of family heritage and the fusion of flavors that define Peranakan identity. Then come the rituals, the hair combing ceremony, performed by parents to bless the couple's new life together, and the chamber ceremony, where elders offer words of wisdom and prayers for fertility, loyalty, and lifelong harmony. Today, while many Peranakan weddings have been adapted for modern times, the essence remains, a tribute to love, lineage, and legacy. In every bead, dish, and blessing lies the soul of a culture that continues to thrive, reminding Singaporeans that the truest beauty of marriage is not just in beginning a new chapter, but in honoring every page that came before. 6. The hawker center culture. If there's one place that captures the true soul of Singapore, it's the hawker center. A bustling, aromatic paradise where cultures, flavors, and generations meet under one roof. More than a place to eat, it's a living museum of Singapore's multicultural identity, where food tells the story of a nation built on diversity and hard work. The roots of hawker culture trace back to the 1800s, when street vendors sold affordable meals to workers and travelers from makeshift carts. Over time, as the city modernized, these stalls were gathered into organized spaces, creating what we now know as hawker centers. These food havens became Singapore's social glue, where everyone from CEOs to taxi drivers sits shoulder to shoulder, sharing a meal and a moment. Step inside any hawker center and you'll feel its heartbeat. The clatter of woks, the rhythmic chopping of meat, the sizzle of noodles on iron pans, it's music to the Singaporean soul. You'll see uncles skillfully brewing kopi, local coffee, in long socks, and aunties expertly frying char kway teow or stirring bowls of spicy laksa. These masters, often second or third generation hawkers, are living keepers of culinary heritage. Each dish, whether chicken rice, roti prata, or nasi lemak, carries a fusion of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian influences, reflecting Singapore's harmony and diversity. Families gather for weekend breakfasts, friends meet after work, and strangers become companions over shared tables. Even in today's age of delivery apps and upscale dining, hawker culture stands unshaken, a reminder that the best food doesn't need silverware, just sincerity. In 2020, UNESCO recognized Singapore's hawker culture as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, a global acknowledgement that what happens here is more than eating. It's an everyday celebration of community, culture, and connection. 7. The Kampong spirit. Gotong Royong. Before Singapore became a city of gleaming towers and high-rise apartments, it was a land of kampongs, close-knit village communities, where everyone looked out for one another. In those days, doors were never locked, children played barefoot under coconut trees, and meals were often shared from one home to the next. This spirit of unity, known as Gotong Royong, meaning mutual cooperation in Malay, was the heartbeat of daily life. If your fence broke, your neighbor fixed it. If someone fell ill, another cooked for their family. Weddings, harvests, or funerals, everyone pitched in, not because they had to, but because they cared. Gotong Royong wasn't written in law. It was written in the heart, a value passed from generation to generation, uniting people of every race and faith. Though the wooden kampong houses and dirt roads have given way to sleek apartment blocks, the kampong spirit still lives on. You can see it in community cleanup drives, RC, residence committee events, and charity fundraisers. You feel it when Singaporeans line up to donate blood, volunteer at food banks, or simply check on elderly neighbors. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this spirit shone brighter than ever when people shared masks, groceries, and words of encouragement with total strangers. Gotong Royong is proof that even in a fast-paced, high-tech city, the essence of humanity endures. It reminds Singaporeans that progress isn't just measured by GDP or skyscrapers, but by how deeply people care for one another. In a world that often celebrates individual success, Singapore's kampung spirit stands as a quiet, powerful truth that kindness, community, and cooperation will always be the strongest foundations of any nation. 8. The art of tea and coffee. Kopitiam culture. Step into any kopitiam and you step into the soul of Singapore. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the sweet scent of kaya toast fills the air, as the familiar clatter of saucers and the murmur of early morning chatter echo through the space. This is Kopitiam culture, the living heartbeat of everyday life, where generations gather not just to drink, but to connect. The word Kopitiam itself is a beautiful blend of cultures, kopi, meaning coffee in Malay, and tiam, meaning shop in Hokkien. This tradition began in the 1800s when Hainanese immigrants opened humble coffee stalls to serve laborers and traders working on Singapore's docks. These stalls quickly became more than pit stops. They turned into social hubs where people shared news, debated politics, or simply enjoyed a quiet moment before a long day. Each cup is brewed with care, strong, dark coffee beans, roasted with sugar and margarine, giving that signature flavor locals love. And then comes the language of coffee itself. Kopi o kosong, black coffee, no sugar. Kopi sio dai, less sugar. Tepeng, iced milk tea. It's a lingo that's part of Singapore's identity, casual, expressive, and uniquely local. Of course, the food is just as iconic. Crisp kaya toast paired with soft-boiled eggs and a cup of kopi. That's breakfast heaven for many Singaporeans. You'll find retirees reading newspapers, office workers grabbing a quick bite, and families sharing laughter over simple meals. Even with modern cafes and trendy chains everywhere, the Kopitiam endures. It remains a symbol of comfort, belonging, and timeless connection, proof that in a fast-changing world, some traditions are too warm, too human to ever fade away. 9. The national habit, queuing and kiasu culture. If there's one habit that instantly reveals a true Singaporean, it's queuing. From hawker stalls to Apple launches, from bubble tea shops to free ice cream giveaways, if there's a queue, you'll see Singaporeans joining it without even asking what it's for. It's become such a beloved part of national life that it's both practical and a little bit humorous, but deeply telling of Singapore's culture. This love for lines comes from the famous kiasu mindset, a Hokkien term meaning fear of losing out. But kiasu isn't about selfishness. It's about striving for excellence and making sure you don't miss a good opportunity. It reflects the drive and determination that helped Singapore rise from a small trading port to one of the world's most successful nations. Whether it's securing the best education, the freshest food, or the latest deal, kiasuism is part of what keeps Singapore sharp, ambitious, and always one step ahead. Queuing also represents something more profound: respect for order. In a world where chaos often reigns, Singaporeans line up patiently, waiting their turn. There's no pushing, no cutting in. Everyone understands that patience and discipline keep things running smoothly. Even during rush hours or major sales, queues remain calm and organized, a quiet reflection of the country's social harmony. Interestingly, queuing has also become a kind of shared humor and pride. It's something Singaporeans tease themselves about, yet secretly admire because it shows unity in values, fairness, efficiency, and diligence. So the next time you spot a long line snaking around a corner in Singapore, don't be surprised if you find yourself joining it too. Chances are, it's not just about what's at the end of the line, it's about being part of a nation that believes in earning the best together. 10. National Day, the spirit of unity. Every 9th of August, Singapore bursts into a sea of red and white as the nation comes together to celebrate National Day, a day that goes far beyond parades and fireworks. It's a moment of collective reflection, pride, and gratitude, a celebration of how far this tiny island has come, and how its people, united in diversity, built something extraordinary together. The highlight of the day is the National Day Parade, NDP, a grand spectacle held at Marina Bay or the Padang, blending military precision with heartfelt performances. You'll see soldiers marching in unison, school children waving flags, and dazzling flypasts by fighter jets painting the sky in red and white smoke. As the evening falls, the skyline glows under a stunning display of fireworks, reflected beautifully in the waters below, a sight that never fails to stir emotion. But what truly defines this day isn't the show, it's the spirit. Across homes and heartlands, families gather around their televisions, singing along to beloved songs like Home, Count on Me Singapore, and We Are Singapore. These anthems carry memories of childhood, hope, and shared identity. Even Singaporeans living abroad pause to watch the live stream, feeling a tug of nostalgia and pride. The celebration continues in neighborhoods with community carnivals, flag displays on HDB blocks, and the smell of barbecue filling the evening air. Strangers smile at one another, children wave miniature flags, and for a moment, everyone feels connected as one. In a world often divided, Singapore's National Day remains a powerful tradition, a living reminder that unity is its greatest strength. Beyond the fireworks and songs lies a deeper truth, that the heart of Singapore isn't its skyline, but its people standing together, one nation, one heartbeat, one home. Conclusion. In today's fast-changing world, where technology evolves faster than we can blink, it's easy to lose touch with what truly matters. But traditions, they are the threads that hold us together. They remind us that progress means little without remembrance, and that identity isn't built in skyscrapers or screens, but in the shared values passed from one generation to the next. Singapore may dazzle with its skyline of glass and steel, but beneath that modern exterior beats a very human heart, a heart that remembers its ancestors, celebrates community, and respects the delicate balance between progress and preservation. From the rhythmic beats of the lion dance during Chinese New Year to the soft glow of oil lamps at Deepavali, from the humble kopi shared at dawn to the laughter at a kampung-style gathering, every act, every flavor, every festival carries a story. These 10 timeless traditions prove that Singapore's true strength doesn't just lie in innovation or success, but in its ability to stay rooted while reaching forward. Because modernity isn't about erasing the past, it's about carrying it with pride into the future. So the next time you walk through Chinatown, watch the lights of Little India, or enjoy a plate of chicken rice at your favorite hawker stall, take a moment. Listen to the laughter, the chatter, the music of daily life. What you're hearing isn't just sound, it's Singapore's living heartbeat, a symphony of old and new blending in harmony. This is the story of Singapore alive, evolving, and endlessly inspiring. If you enjoyed this journey through Singapore's living traditions, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories that celebrate culture and humanity, and share it with someone who loves Singapore as deeply as you do. Because traditions aren't relics of the past, they're the lights that keep future glowing, brightly, proudly, beautifully.